Hey guys, I want to explain the difference between an internal focus and an external focus and how we might incorporate this into our rowing practice. As of 2013, 80 studies had already confirmed that an external focus, which is a focus on your environment or goal outcome, consistently outperformed an internal focus, which is a focus on your body. Here's a study that looks at the physiological impact on rowers. The group that thought internally about their body performed worse in all categories, showing that the simple thought of our body might not only impact our physiology, but it also might impact our efficiency. Here's another study that looks at the technical impact on rowers. One group thought internally about their body, the other group thought externally about their blade. The group that thought externally performed better in all three categories. They immediately had better technique. 7 weeks later, they had better retention of that technique, and they also had better transfer of that technique to a new higher rate that they hadn't tried before. So if it is true that our focus might impact our physiology, our efficiency, and our technical abilities, we might want to figure out how we can incorporate this into our practice. So here's the difference between internal and external cues. Notice that an internal cue always makes you think internally about your body. Notice an external cue always makes you think externally or outside of your body. Another thing to note about external cues is that they're simple, they're familiar, and they're illustrative. You want them to create such a strong image that they stamp an image on your brain so you can refer back to it later. This might be one of the reasons why drills are so effective. Drills are essentially external focus or external cues in of themselves. So instead of thinking about, okay, my arm has to do this and then my body has to do this followed by my legs, now I'm just thinking about completing the drill or completing the goal outcome, which is an external focus. Now, how would I incorporate this into practice? So here's an example. Let's say you have an athlete that has trouble keeping pressure against their foot plate with their feet. Instead of saying, hey Joe, keep your feet in contact with your foot plate, which is an internal cue, you can say, hey Joe, imagine that I just squeezed a whole tube of super glue in your shoes. As soon as we go to pick it back up, I want you to imagine that that glue is dry. So now you've planted this image in their brain that they can refer back to, and now you as a coach only have to say a couple words. So when you pick it back up and you have to remind Joe, you just say, hey Joe, super glue. That keeps it simple, that might be more effective, it also might take away less from your athletes. Now, if you really want to create a strong learning environment, you also want to pair this with a complementary drill. So an example here would be the feet out drill.